Hey, Dan Meyer here, and today we're going to talk about a very exciting topic, right? We're going to talk about the future is live streaming. The idea here is that everyone is doing live streaming to some extent, right? Whether we're watching entertainment on live streaming, or we're producing content for live streaming, or we're sharing things via our social media apps in live stream, the idea of getting things out there in real time and sharing content. And then being able to do things through the internet, through your gadgets, through your mobile phones, through your tablets. This is where we're at right now, right? And it's really changed the way we deliver content. It's dynamically changed forever the way we deliver entertainment content, and it's quickly changing forever the way we deliver business content. So understanding the future of live streaming is super important. And I know this because I've spent the last 10 years staying on the cutting edge of whatever's coming down the pike, right? I was into analytics at the beginning. I was into data science at the beginning. I was into all the things that I did in my corporate life. I was in the cutting edge with building business dashboards and doing data storytelling. That morphed into when I launched my business. I was one of the first business people that I knew that was doing blogging, that was understanding how to really use the power of a blog to push a business. That developed into YouTubing, where I've been using YouTube for the last couple of years to promote my business, understanding how to use Facebook Lives and how to use things like now TikTok and Bigo, things that really are constantly keeping the cutting edge moving forward, and you want to be on that edge. So understanding the future is live streaming. And you have to be able to pay attention to some of this stuff to make sure that you're not falling behind. You want proof? Just look at how many people have started consuming almost all, if not all, of their entertainment content via live streaming services, right? So in the last year, we've seen every single one of the live streaming giants like Netflix and Prime Video and Hulu and Disney Plus just blow up. And as people aren't going to the movies and they're not watching cable TV anymore, they're live streaming. They're binging what they want when they want. And everyone can do it kind of at their own pace. And it's a whole new way of consuming content. And that entertainment consumption is starting to bleed over into business consumption. And we're never going back, right? We're never going to go back to where most people see a movie in a movie theater. Maybe for some of the big tentpole releases, some of the Marvel films, some of the Disney stuff, we may still go in large numbers to see movies once the pandemic's over. But the idea of most content being created for being shown in a movie or on cable television is never going to happen again. At the same time, we're also starting to see that the most people are going to have business meetings, not in person, even after the pandemic is gone, but on Zoom or on other apps like Zoom. Things have fundamentally changed because of live streaming. You want more proof besides in the business sense? You look at the growth in apps like Zoom and GoToWebinar. They have blown up this year, right? So the idea that using applications to be able to drive your business by having meetings or having conferences or seminars or workshops, whatever you're trying to do, doing it online is here to stay. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's more convenient. Boom, it's not going to go back. So the idea that you want to be able to stay doing things in live stream is important. And this is where it's important to think about what do you want to accomplish when you're doing your business. A great example is how we use Facebook Live. 95% of mobile users use Facebook Live at some point. 3.5 million live broadcasts in a couple years. 47% of businesses using Facebook Live. Facebook Live is really, really popular, but it's almost completely misused. Facebook Live is designed for one thing, for in the moment, experiential, share what I'm doing kind of stuff. Check out what I'm doing and like it or comment on it, and maybe come check it out yourself. It's really good in that kind of like getting that initial engagement, but then it doesn't have a very good shelf life. People don't watch Facebook Live posts that are saved on someone's website if it's more than a day or two old. They don't go back and look at past stuff, and Facebook does a really crappy job of allowing you to archive your videos, right? It's all in one folder no matter what you're trying to accomplish. So it's just not really, really effective for business. Yet people are using it for their business. They're walking around talking about their business. They're doing it on their phone while they're taking a walk in the neighborhood. They got bad lighting. They got noise in the background. It's not a good experience, right? You're sharing people in the moment how excited you are, but you're not delivering value that's going to really impact their lives. So you want to think about how you produce your Facebook Lives. And that leads us to the next thing, is where you should put your content once you film it. It should be on YouTube. YouTube is the most popular website in the world. There are over 2 billion active users on YouTube, right? Pretty much like 1 every 3.5 people on this planet are on YouTube, or 2.5. One out of every 2.5 people on this planet are on YouTube, right? So YouTube is great because it's designed as a content library. It allows you to store stuff. And people watch YouTube content in a binge format the same way you watch Netflix, right? So Facebook Live, some people will film a Facebook Live and they'll put it out there, they'll share it on YouTube, and people won't really watch it because on Facebook Live we hold it like this, but YouTube we watch it like this, right? So simple things like vertical and horizontal filming. A lot of stuff I talked about in previous videos. You can go back and check out a couple of them about how to have more impactful lives, the do's and don'ts of going live. Bottom line though is you should be using YouTube and push to Facebook, not Facebook pushing to YouTube. For one simple reason, YouTube is owned by Google. And if you post something on YouTube, then you get the power of Google Analytics, you get the power of Google's internet search, so that when you post things on YouTube, they go higher than things that are on Facebook because Google puts its own stuff up higher, right? So Facebook Live is good, but really not great. Really, you should be doing YouTube videos, stream it onto Facebook, and then let people see it that way. So anyway, that's YouTube, right? And YouTube's important because, as I mentioned before, the number of people watching it's pretty widespread, right? There are people of all ages watching YouTube, but the biggest target of people on YouTube are between 23 and 54, right? Probably where your target market is. And the idea here is that YouTube users are kind of consuming content. They're binging what they like. So if you have good content, you have a bunch of good videos out there, they're not going to just watch one, they're going to watch several. They're going to become hooked on you. They're going to need you and your business and the products and the services you provide to help them in their lives. So YouTube is the place you really, really want to be. A couple others I'll mention. I mentioned Zoom before. Like Zoom is off the charts, and most of us are going to use Zoom for whatever we're doing as far as video conferencing, for business meetings, if we're doing a web conference, if we're doing a seminar, a workshop. Zoom is pretty much where most people go. It's cool, it works. There's some pros and cons to it. I'll talk about that in other videos. Bottom line, it's going up, right? And the other ones that are kind of like Zoom are also picking up. We're never going to go back to a period where we're not doing most of our business stuff via online. We'll still do some of it in person, maybe the big things in person, maybe the fun things in person, but majority of the day-to-day stuff, the routine stuff, the things that everyone else is doing, it's all going to be via Zoom. So a couple of things I want to mention real quick before we wrap up. 2 sources that you probably don't know about when it comes to streaming content. Number one is Twitch, which is owned by Amazon and which is about gamers. Originally, the idea was that gamers would have a place where they could live stream while they're playing and have people watch it. Me personally, I don't like doing this, but I look at my son and my nieces and nephews, and they love watching other people play games or do things. If you remember on YouTube about a year or 2 ago, everyone was into unboxing, right? Showing the experience unboxing. Really, we saw that happen on YouTube, but it was happening on Twitch even more, especially people unboxing things about gadgets and technology. So Twitch is a place to check out. It's no longer just for gamers. It's definitely younger in market, but you can stream there, and you can actually be able to monetize your content as well. And the next one is Bigo Live. If you're really somebody who likes to educate and entertain at the same time, if you educate or entertain, I don't know. Anyway, edutainment is the word I'm looking for. Bigo Live is growing quickly, right? Especially if you're in Asia and you're trying to do business in Asia, if you're trying to recruit employees, you're trying to sell a product, you're trying to market something to somebody who's probably under 40, if you're trying to get your brand out there, having someone on Bigo that you can sponsor and have them do things for you is another way to go, right? So Bigo Live is another one that's coming up really fast. So those are some things that I recommend that you check out, right? So think about how you use your Facebook Live, optimize your YouTube, have YouTube be the primary source where you put all your content. Use things like Zoom and Twitch and Bigo as tools to help you get your story out there to a wider audience. This is what we do at Sonic VA, right? So if you go to sonicva.com, sonicva.com, you'll hear about the 3 things that we do, right? We help people manage their social media. We help people create engaging graphics, and we make YouTube-ready videos, right? We allow you to be more consistent in what you post, to have more clarity in your messaging, and build more certainty of what's going to happen when people work with you through using a virtual assistant through Sonic VA. We want you to focus on what you do best by hiring a VA to do all the rest. So that's my talk for today. I hope it helped. The future of live streaming is the fact that the future is live streaming, right? So think about what you're doing right now to live stream and double it, triple it, put more effort into it, put more thought into it. Very, very few of us are using live streaming effectively. And there's a lot of opportunity out there that if we figure it out, we're going to be ahead of the curve. So I want to thank you for your time. Now go out there and stream something and be amazing.